No. Go.
Well, welcome everybody. It is February 17th, 2017 here in the United States of America. Just 4 p.m. Welcome to Iron Realm Media. Walt, why don't you say hi to everybody? Maybe introduce who we have here lined up today.
All right. Hope all are doing good. Well, we have the usual gang of madmen here. We have Rob down under, holding on to the bottom of that ball hard as he can.
Yes, hello, it's Saturday here for me, and I'm way ahead of you guys.
I know, slow down, man. That dude travels in time. He holds on to the bottom of the ball. He's a Superman down there. John, are you there, sir? John is there. He's just being quiet.
I am on music.
Yep. There he is, John.
Hi, guys. Sir. Hope everyone's well.
Adam, sir, how are you?
I'm well, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone.
Glad to hear from you, sir. Somewhere lurking about. Josh is here. Hi, Josh.
I'm here.
And there's Justin. I finally found him. Hi,
yes,
Justin.
I'm
how
here.
Are you today, sir?
Doing good, guys. Glad to be back.
Yeah, we're glad to have you back. We're glad to have you back, man. We can't wait to hear about your adventures.
Yeah, super excited about what you've been doing this last week. You got a get you on last Friday. You've been a busy boy.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
It's been a fun couple days.
That's
well,
awesome.
How did you decide? Well, I mean, you just decided this at the drop of the hat just to take off and head over there, or was this like what was your plan of attack?
It's sort of been in the back of my head because I'm only about an hour away, and I've grown up around this area. So lately, within the last year of being more into this into the flat Earth topic, I was like, I just want to go over there and get another, just a real look inside and what they're showing and what they're telling, and because I went as a kid, but I didn't really remember it much. So this week I was just thinking, why don't we go over there? So my girlfriend and I went over, and we're gonna like to get in there, and it's like essentially it's just really like a tourist attraction. It's I don't know if any of you all have ever been there or heard much about it, but
let's tell everybody.
As a child, I also visited the one in on the coast. Yes, sir.
Yeah, let everybody know where it is you actually made this trek to.
Oh, I may not have said that. I'm sorry. I was. Yes,
oh, yeah, we might have missed
the Kennedy Space Center. That would be a nice thing to tell everybody. Sorry, I got all excited.
Yes. So the Kennedy Space Center, which is located in Cape Canaveral or Cocoa Beach area in Florida, about an hour away from Orlando. Where all the famous rockets go off and where they, took the men to the moon, so they say. And they've got a tourist, a Kennedy Space Center Visitor Center, which is the little tourist area where you can see. It's kind of like a museum. They've got old space suits and artifacts, and they show you movies and lots of 3D films and a bunch of cool stuff, and it really awes you and shocks you. And you can take a bus tour over to the some of the launch pads and things like that. But yeah, anyways, I was, like you said, it was just kind of a drop of a hat. It's been in the back of my head, and I just wanted to go over there. And the idea was to sort of go in and try to take some of these tours and really just press some good questions at these people. But it wasn't what I expected. Maybe we didn't do all the right stuff, but we tried to we took the bus tour, and the person that's doing the talking is just driving and on this mic thing, and they're just constantly rambling. And every time they stop, there's a video playing for you. So there's no real time for questions. And then they shove you off that bus and shove a bunch more people on. It was a real busy day too. So it felt like you were at Disney World, getting shuffled around, and it was
cattle lines basically, right?
Yeah, it was. And it was a lot of it was just very basic and surface level stuff. No one ever, you didn't talk about, obviously they're not talking about the curvature or the spin or anything like that. They're just telling you how great of the heroes that the astronauts were, and showing you cool artifacts and telling you fun crazy facts about light years, things that are light years away.
But you did get a chance to interact with the public, right? You got to ask See what?
Yeah, I did. I did mess around a couple times, and there was a group of guys standing there, and we were all kind of looking at the one of the little capsules that they've supposedly sent people up in, and somebody was getting in it, and I just kind of looked at them. We were all gazing at it, and I was like, "So you guys really think we went?" And one of them kind of laughed like I was kidding, and the other guy kind of shook his head like, "Yeah, I don't really know." Like he wasn't sure at all, and the other guy just didn't say a word. But it was interesting. It's definitely a place that you could go and really engage with people, and it kind of interests me to maybe go back and talk to some people, maybe on see if you can get them on camera and stuff, and just.
Yeah, Justin, I was just about to ask you, can you take a video camera in there and just videotape what you're doing for the day? Are you allowed to do that?
Yeah, you did. I did that same thing. I was videotaping, the area. I didn't talk to anyone on camera because there wasn't really. That was kind of what disappointed me. These are just like theme park employees. Some of them are just like kids, and these aren't NASA employees. They've got a little NASA patch on their shirt, but these aren't scientists or astronauts. You can pay extra money to have lunch with a astronaut or do some things like that. But I wasn't going to pay any more money to these people to try to get anywhere. But it was very controlled, I noticed, for the most part, with shuttling you around, and there's no place for questions, and there's no one really to ask. If I asked anyone, they were going to look at me like, "Hey man, I just work here. I do the turnstile thing." They could barely get our food order right. So
Hey, Justin, I heard
right, we're just passengers on a flight.
Right.
Exactly.
I heard that you could have that lunch with the astronaut or whatever, but it turns out we've got friends who did that. And it turns out you're just in like a lecture room with about 20 or 30 other people, whoever was mug enough to pay the extra money, and the guys just sat down the front. It's not like a one-to-one coffee break with an astronaut or anything. It's
Right.
it's a little more.
Hold that thought real quick, John.
Like
hey, I just heard there we go. I heard a familiar laugh. He is here. James, the Full Armor OG, has joined us. Welcome, James.
Thank you. I'm so excited today, guys. I am grinning because there are a lot of us at the IRM who love the topic of NASA. And
I know that's why I didn't even say Kennedy earlier. I was so excited to get to it. I didn't even tell everybody where he was going, man.
Yeah,
so I think we were all NASA fanboys at one point in one form or another. I think we all had to have been at one point.
And I was a little jealous too, but I've gotten over my jealousy, and I'm so proud that you're there, Justin, and that you're reporting to us live on your trip out there.
Yeah, it was an experience, that's for sure, and I'm glad that I did it. I didn't get to do as much as I wanted to, but it was still good to take in and see exactly how they're pushing it, how they're framing it, and like I said, it was only an hour away, so it didn't hurt. It's $50 for an adult.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question about the end of it. Do they all kind of, you mentioned there's a lot of videos and a lot of pre-planned, like kind of like carriage stops. Do they all funnel into that indoctrination store that you showed? I don't know if you could share that picture, but I found it fascinating for those who haven't seen it. It's basically a whole indoctrination center for kids. It's like covered wall to wall with like space books and other fallacies.
Yeah, and it's very, very targeted at kids. I mean, that's what, to me, even that's what I remember as a kid when I went. I remember the Dippin' Dots when they took us on a field trip. They catered to us. There was fun playground thing. There's Dippin' Dots. There's French fries and all this stuff the theme park would have. But then you get into the gift shop, and there's just all this stuff for kids. The whole wall of children's book. There's a Curious George space version. There's a version of the typical children's books that were all on the space theme, and it was just flooded with the stuff like that. And there was lots of field trips there that day with us. I was every time I got on the bus to go to another stop, there was tons of kids on there. Once again, it was getting them early, and it just goes to show it's just like the globe in the classroom and all that. When I was standing in one of the movie rooms, they were showing the stuff about the astronauts, and they would just the whole time in the beginning, it was this intro of talking about heroes, and it would just show people saying, my hero is this, and it was showing kids and adults, and it was all this hero stuff, and the kids are just gazing at it. And I remember looking at my girlfriend, I was like, this is going to build all up. and it's going to build up, and the end is going to show you the astronauts, and it's going to make it seem like the greatest hero ever is an astronaut, and that's exactly what it did. It was very predictable for the most part.
Great, because
Sounds
my offspring are going next year, so this is going to be hilarious because they're both flat earthers.
Nice.
Yeah, there's the pictures.
There was also
a lot of Mars stuff. You know, it's be a part of the journey to Mars. It was all this like this new movie's coming out, and we're building up to it. Yeah,
right.
And everything was about Mars. They threw it in everywhere.
Yeah, they use the words like "we," so they get you involved and think that you might get there.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's how they did it to us in the 70s. Remember, guys? I mean, we were going to go to the moon and have lunch once the shuttle missions all started being weekly. And we were going to be able to just take a cruise to the nearest planet like it was just a cruise across the continent. I mean,
the Milky Way, the galaxy.
Oh, man, it was going to be, and that was going to be before the end of the 90s. That all was going to happen.
They've already got people signed up, haven't they? At Virgin and this SpaceX or whatever.
Over 100,000.
For £250,000 a piece. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day and thinking, okay, so if the Mars mission's not real, and these people, you know, it would just be so easy to pre-record a bit of footage of them, fire them up into a rocket, just eject them over the Atlantic, and then come back and pick up the next lot of mugs to bring up there. And as far as anyone on Earth's concerned, they've actually gone to Mars, and they could just say they lost the communication link.
For that matter, they could shoot these guys into one of these simulators, just like that show, and they would think they took the trip. You know, I mean, I think that's probably half of what goes on with some of these
because the people on the ride get conned too. They'll go the rest of their life thinking they got to outer orbit and to Mars,
but they're never coming back. These people are told. It's not a return journey, is it?
Yeah, I've read that it was a one-way trip, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wait, are you talking about that new colony thing that you have to sign up?
Yeah, the colony thing that they're planning. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They just made a movie about that too. Isn't that funny? You guys see that movie, Passengers? Funny how that's about a colony that people paid for.
I bet it had a happy ending.
I think to be honest, couldn't even bear to see it through. It was quite slow.
Well, Justin, do you have photographs and video you'd like to share? You can throw it on your screen or send it over to Josh's Twitter, and he can throw it up on his screen and present it to everybody. It's up to you if you want to. I mean, you don't have to include pictures of you or your girlfriend, but just anything interesting. I think you did send us one nice, interesting centerpiece out there in the courtyard area.
I'd like to see
that really caught my eye.
Some sticker pictures too. He's got some amazing stickers that I just wanted to give a nod to.
What are you talking about, sir? I don't understand such a thing.
I heard rumors of maybe some guerrilla flat earthing going on.
I don't know at all. Y'all must be talking about something else. I don't understand.
So can I show you?
See what happened was there was just I slipped, and there was I found this sticker on the other end of my hand, and it just hit the back of the seat. And
you see, Justin,
are you okay?
There is.
Are you okay? You got to be careful with gravity and like Coriolis effect and things. That'll throw you around, man. You have to.
It's funny because the same thing happened on the way back on a different bus.
Oh,
it was terrible.
See, Coriolis. I bet it was the other side, right? You fell the other way.
Yeah.
A funny thing happened on the way to the Kennedy Space Center.
There we go. That's the picture I was speaking about.
That reminds me of the George Bush building that had that rotating map. Remember that?
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So can I play this, Justin? Do you mind?
Yeah, I'm looking up some on the phone right now. Which one are you guys going to run?
The one,
the centerpiece?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
The hidden in plain sight.
Yeah, I wish it was longer for you, but I had that was just a short Snapchat video.
That's all you need, brother.
Some more on my actual camera I can get within the next couple days for you.
That's not the sign. They need one for the South Pole.
I mean, this is pretty much the whole thing right here. It's flat, but we use trickery to turn it into a globe for you. They're telling us right there in plain sight.
And please do not sit or climb on the railing. And if you do, You can't bring any trash. You can't smoke outside. And
we're not responsible
buttons.
if you fall off the edge.
That's right. So just please do not climb.
With a mountain, Mount Meru, right there in the center of it all.
What is that thing?
And if you notice, the thing that's spinning on top of all of it is one of those like module, capsule things.
Is it a return module?
Yeah, and it's just like sitting tilted on top of it. It's pretty big. There was all kinds of spheres around too. I noticed there was a really big International Space Station mural with like all the flags in front of it, I guess, that participate in all that. It's interesting.
But certainly all those countries wouldn't be in on the fakery. Now, come on. Surely you just.
No way.
Now, I see there's a video here right after you fell. Can I play that one too?
Oh yeah, I actually sent the wrong one. You can play that one. I got a better one. It pans up to the vehicle assembly building, so you see exactly where we are.
Nice.
But yeah, go ahead.
That's cool.
Send.
Benefits are commonly called space spin-offs. And since the beginning of the space program, they have rapidly accelerated the pace of technology development.
Love it. Guerilla flat earthing. Hit and run. Make them think.
Yeah, I wish I had some more.
Must have been comforting to know there's people out there with stickers
out there
coming before you, to make it all look good.
True.
Have they got a bar there you can have a few drinks at?
I don't believe there was alcohol. No, there was.
Well, you'd never see Buzz Aldrin there, then, would you?
Yeah, but there was one thing I did wish I could have done. It's called Science on a Sphere, and it was supposed to be a presentation about the globe and the planets. But like I said, it was such a madhouse that day. There were so many people, and I was waiting in lines to get on buses, waiting in lines to see the 20-minute film with the 3D glasses, and in lines for this. We had to leave, and we were hungry, and I didn't want to eat their crappy food anymore. So maybe if I go back, I don't know if I want to give them money again, but that Science on a Sphere would have been interesting. And there was a couple other things that would have just been good to see, what they were, how they were portraying it.
Yeah. You gotta be a real glutton for punishment to go do that twice.
It is. It was sickening too. Some of when I'm on the bus and listening to the tour guide say things like, they're just casually describing how we're working on this, or we're, soon we'll be doing this. And I'm looking around like, does no one notice how long they've been saying soon eventually? Yeah. And it's just going on and on, but everyone's just so shocked at how big the buildings are and how big the platform that carries the rockets, that everyone's wow. And it's, they tell you how big that American flag is on the side of that vehicle assembly building like 4 times.
Well, let me tell you something. I mean, if you are just an average person, let's say, because I live in Canada and we do a lot of work in the oil field. And let's say you're just, you're from an urban place and you've been working in an office, and you come out to where I live and you look at this massive equipment and you start looking at these 50-ton, 100-ton trucks with wheels that are bigger than like your house. You're sitting there in awe, right? So the same thing for NASA. You come there, you see a big platform, you see a rocket for the first time, maybe. You're just blown away. You're just in shock of it all, let alone that it's just could be a paper mache like front for it's just a model or something,
Did they show you the swimming pool at all?
The swimming pool?
Yeah, where they do all the underwater ISS.
Oh, no, we didn't get to see that.
Because I think that's an actual place you can visit as well, and it's got a classic logo, hasn't it, with the spacewalking astronaut being handed a tool or something by a scuba diver.
That might be something we missed, because there's something called the International Space Station Gallery. I don't know if it was really that hands-on.
Probably
but
not.
Yeah, a lot of it was like, that's another thing. It wasn't a lot of hands-on stuff. You didn't really get to talk to very many people. You just kind of got shoved in a room.
Centers for the buoyancy.
It really sounds like a prepackaged theme park, like almost like an exhibit, really, like a
Disneyland.
yeah, go around and sit on the chair and just look at it all. But that's about it.
Well, that's what it is at the Johnson Space Center down on the coast on the coast, Gulf Coast.
I will
thing.
tell you,
doing a tour.
A good thing to remember if anyone does want to go out there and do any kind of like education or anything, there's not a lot of employees around that seem to care about you filming or asking questions to regular guests, and you can get all the way up to the front with all the people that are hanging around outside buying tickets and all the people coming out without having to pay anything, I guess, other than parking. But once you're up there at the front, you don't have to pay to go in, and you can interact with all those people, and there's no security or anything.
That would be.
You might become our guerrilla reporter on that site, then, sir. That would be an awesome thing for you to do. That would be amazing.
Did anyone see those on the street videos, the Flat Earth on the Street videos by the Scottish guy?
Yeah, that
they were great, and he only asked them 2 questions. He was only asking them, well, to begin with, was, do you think we're on a ball? Why do you think we're on a ball? And some of the answers were great, but I was quite surprised at how he didn't get his head kicked in, because
he did it in a great way. You have to represent it. You can't go Alex Jones on him out there.
No, I think he did really well, but he got a good reaction too.
I think Justin comes across that way, nice and proper.
Go ahead, Rob.
A lot of people would have told him to go. Hey, John. A lot of people would have.
I don't know. I would have thought. Yeah, I would have thought. But the people he did talk to were really, they were quite genial and actual thinking, and you're not telling them the Earth's flat or anything. You're just asking them a simple question that they should be able to answer quite categorically.
Right, Rob. We might not have seen the videos where he got told to sod off, right?
Yeah, that's right. No, he would have cut them people off because they're not worth putting on his little video.
It takes a lot of nerve to walk up to a perfect stranger, though, and ask those kinds of questions.
Certainly does, yeah.
Hey, well, I was going to ask you. You've seen the space shuttle, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
My office
solid
troll,
land. I didn't get to see it take off.
So my office troll, I was asking him about how could it glide all the way to the bottom, and his answer was got the small wings, but its underbody is also designed for gliding, so it's flat, and I know it's got its undercarriage anyway is meant for gliding. So you saw it. What underneath it? What did it look like?
Yeah, it's just a big flat surface. I didn't notice a distinctive curve that it would be required to turn it into a giant wing, like there's a plane that actually is that. Which one is it? Is it the Stealth?
He also said that the jet engines that you hear are say a couple of fighter jets that sidle it as it's coming into land. So you would have been hearing the jets of the other planes.
And why do we need those jets?
They don't land in unison. It lands by itself on a single runway.
There's a funny video out there, Rob. There's a remote control space shuttle, and its engines fail, and this thing just falls to the floor like a brick. Yeah, it's got a proper petrol engine or kerosene engine or whatever, and it's a mock-up. And they've got a model of I think it was the Russian shuttle, but it was the one where it was carried on top of actually no, it probably was the US one. It was carried on top of a 747. So they had all of that, and then the shuttle splits apart from the 747 and was buzzing around and looked unbelievably difficult to control, but then the engines cut out and the thing just went flat out straight to the floor. It's hilarious.
Well, they actually make a version you can launch with a package like a Estes rocket that's shaped like the shuttle, and they have the big styrofoam classic wing. So we could take those and drop them off the side of a building and see which one glides away and see which one drops like a brick.
Yes, I know. I sit there asking him questions all the time. You know what I'm like. But that was the one he said about the shuttle, that its undercarriage was part of it gliding as well. And I'll never believe that. It's just going to be too heavy for me. No.
I've heard all kinds of things, the angle of descent and how long it takes and all these different excuses for why that thing is a glider without an engine.
Why did it have to be
breaks it down?
Why did it have to be? Why did it have to be a glider? Why couldn't they just say, yeah, we've got auxiliary jet engines that take over when we enter the atmosphere? Why? They got all those pipes coming out the back. Why did they have to say it was a glider, which is so unbelievably unbelievable?
That's right. Why would it have to glide? It doesn't have to glide. It's got engines.
Why can't they just say it's got engines? I don't understand.
If they said they had engines from the start, we wouldn't be in question it.
No.
Did they have anything like that on display there that you could see the shuttles and all that, Justin?
Not that I was aware of. There was this one pretty big building we didn't get to go in, but I think it had all types of shuttle experience themed things, but I don't think they actually had the shuttle. They have this really big Mach, the two boosters right out in front of it too, and they're massive. And then there's the rocket garden, which is just a bunch of rockets, but no, I don't think they have it unless I missed it.
Well, there's definitely all kinds of, I'm looking for one now to post diagrams that show how it should work. And I mean, you can see the wings are not designed for glide. They just aren't. Period.
Was it impressive, Justin? Or, were the kids impressed, or were they sort of kicking their heels and sort of looking around? Yeah, whatever.
It's funny you mentioned that. It seemed to be a little bit of both, but it makes me wonder what was winning them over. Was it the fact that they had the 3D glasses on and the things were jumping out at them? Or were they even learning anything? And then some of them were more interested in on that bus. They wanted to look at the alligators and the pigs, because there's lots of wildlife out there. There's wild pigs and alligators hanging out right off the side of the road when you're driving in the bus. And the kids were more interested in exactly. The kids were trying to look at I saw one kid, he's like, look at that bird over there. And they're pointing at the birds and the alligators. And the lady's like, that's the biggest building ever over, showing the vehicle assembly building. I'm like, what is this? The biggest stick contest? Is what it seemed like. Kids were more interested with the wildlife than the big big buildings.
Funny that.
At least some of them were. And, a lot of them now have, iPads and cell phones in their hands all during it. So
I was going to ask that very question. How many were stuck in their screens the whole time?
Wow.
Yeah, really? There were some. Some of the look like the parents or chaperones take their phones from them at times. I remember hearing one group of parents saying they weren't going to have their phones for a while because they wanted them to pay attention. But
right, get that indoctrination.
Yeah, but there's a lot of. It's tough. It was like everywhere I stepped, I was like, wow, can you believe this? And I just wanted to stand there and look at it for a minute. But I'm like, we got to keep it moving because there's a lot of things to see. Unless you want
that picture there, you could make a meme out of that and say Orlando, what you call it, the Universal Studios, Disneyland, or NASA? ?
Right. Yeah, you guys would have really got a kick out of the gift shop. All the stuff in there, all the emblems on all the different patches and the memorabilia stuff. It was something to see.
Can I take a hint that it was all maybe Greek occult names?
Yeah, you're getting warm.
Sir. Yes, sir. There's a display at our museum in Lafayette that has just a wall of patches from different missions, and I watched. I mean, I was looking through them and just checking out all the symbols. The symbols are just
here. I'll
crazy.
Send you guys one right now that I remember taking. I'll send it to the group chat.
Ooh, I meant to ask you, Justin, because this is big. But did you see any Freemasonic things, or were they selling any of the coins of the Freemasons when they got to the moon, or any of the dedication stuff or memorabilia from Freemasonic?
Not that specifically caught my eye. We did gloss over quite a bit of the stuff in the gift shop because there was so much. We were really hooked on that. I was taking pictures of those children's books and some of the sweaters they had with all the emblems. And there was an area we missed. They may have had some stuff like that, but I didn't see it specifically.
Yeah, there's the propellants right there.
Holy cow, look at this.
So yeah, once those are jettisoned after it all takes off, I mean, there's no fuel. That's the whole thing. It's gone. So once it heads back in from its little mission, it has nothing left to push through that back set of thrusters.
That really does look like a hot air balloon. Just looks like one of those blow up things at the fairground.
Was
it to flap around at the top?
I don't remember. There was a video I watched way like a year and a half ago looking at one of the launches, and there was some very hinky things going on around.
Oh yeah, if you look at
the
the
area,
60s
like it
and
was
80s.
a projection, like an early attempt at some type of blue beam hologram type thing. You could see all these weird edges and all these places it could have been being projected from, and it was crazy.
Looky there.
SpaceX.
Lovely.
Wow.
Still does look like that.
Yes, they do. A friend and I at lunch the other week talked about their magical backwards landing rocket, and he just had no problem with that. And I'm like, well, you've never played Solar Jetman on the old Nintendo then. Because you cannot land an upright rocket like that.
You've never tried to refuel the jet in Top Gun for Nintendo.
Right?
Give me a break.
So you didn't find a Berensstein's Bears book there at the gift shop, did you?
But we found the Berenstein.
What do we think about this? These boots.
Boots.
The boots were a different thing on the moon.
I've seen covers.
I think the boots had outer boots.
Yeah, I did too at this point. I pretty much have blocked that one out.
Red herring, that one.
And there goes everybody but you, John.
Again. It's because we're on PCs, I think.
It was a clever rouse there, whoever picked up the boots covers for a while. But
everyone's gone.
It's definitely oh, jeez. Oh, hello.
Yeah, I agree. I think those ridged, parallel lined.
So apparently the boots were a touchy subject.
I think who's on a phone and who's on a PC here?
I'm on a phone.
I'm on a phone.
All of us phone people got kicked off. Have you figured this thing out, John?
I think that's it.
I think it is because it's always you and me, Josh, that are left, isn't it? And you're on a PC.
Not always, though.
Not always. No, sir.
No. Sometimes everybody gets kicked off, but John
sometimes
Josh and I
gets booted.
And I think it's because everybody else is international. That's what we've decided. But now, it's just Google.
John, I was thinking about it here. Remember last week, and we said the word that you know what I think. I thought it out. If I was an agency and I was smart, and you get that hiccup and everybody kicks off, that wouldn't be because we don't want you to talk about it. That would be the start of the recording.
Yeah, possibly.
See. Because it never, ever happens more than once.
Look at this government spider.
Isn't it a bit unsubtle to boot everyone off?
Right.
That's not particularly covert.
Well, if it's a constant thing that happens all the time.
What's the number one thing we're going to say to that, though, John? Which is what we did. We're like, we can't say that. Po. They're going to boot us.
But what happened?
They already have us.
So they're recording again? I mean, it'll happen 4 or 5 times at a show. Easy.
Really?
What's that, Josh?
Sorry. 1 person or 5 people. Yeah, it's always booting. It'll always boot people.
Because I know last week with the P word, and for the P word, it booted us all, and then we were all stable and talking about the boot and the poot. for
just
quite an hour.
What are you talking about?
I thought you just said that. Hilarious.
Take off, eh?
Little dig at our Canadian brothers there.
We love James. He knows that.
Yeah.
But James, I saw
say
you saying the other day that you didn't know any Canadians, flat earthers. And
no, just one.
I can hardly think
it's
of
not verified yet.
many that aren't Canadian.
Really?
Yeah, there's tons of them. Oh, well, I hear the boots all the time.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
A boot.
Seriously, dude. Like, take off.
I'll have to start making a list of who. Yeah.
Who is it?
It was the same with the law movement. It was the same with the common law movement. It was mainly Canadians.
Now that I do know that I remember that.
I'd just like to say thanks to Justin for going in and coming out of your day here today to talk to us for an hour.
Dude, and for sure, he definitely was hardcore in there with the accidents. I mean, what am I talking about? I don't even know.
Yeah, actually, if you guys wanted to, I can actually stay on if you want to. I don't have to.
You don't have to.
Please hang out, man.
Okay, yeah, I don't have to take off
want you
anymore.
to hang out. Nice.
Yeah, I've got.
Have we heard anything from Robbie?
I don't know. I've tried to check back to my email, but since he don't.
Who is it we're expecting? What's his name? Robbie.
From New Zealand? Is there a New Zealander?
From
Adam, speak up. Stop pulling your weight.
I was on mute. Apologies. It's Robbie Collister.
And what's he done? What's he? Why
from Calling Bullshit, from the YouTube channel Calling Bullshit, CBS.
So
right. He's been plotting.
He did the Lights of Napier thing, did he?
Sorry?
He did the Lights of Napier thing from New Zealand or something, did he?
If that's what it's called, yeah. My description is plotting heights against relative distance from a given point.
Not sure if he did that, John.
No, I don't think he did. No, that was someone else.
The mountain peaks.
No, because I was mentioning that last week with my mate that I've got now. That when he was a kid, he remembers standing on a beach and seeing the Lights of Napier from 90 kilometres away. He said.
That'll be it. That's why I've got it in my notes.
Yeah.
Last week, gone and forgotten.
Well, that's a good point that I was saying. Was it you and I, Rob, were talking and saying that probably some of the best flat earth proof is stuff that's subconsciously hidden, because we've all, especially Canadians, because we love to get out of the cold, we've all gone to tropical places for years, like 2-3 times a year. Maybe it's Florida, Arizona, and you look out on the beach or whatever, you can frickin' see for miles and miles, and you chalk it up in your head. You're just like, oh wow, it's a clear day. But you never actually think, like, wait a second, this is wrong. How am I seeing so far? And why is everything, so straight? And it just glosses you over. Simple truth right there.
And there goes everybody but you, John. And James is back.
There we go. Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
You just did that. You just hit the button to prove me wrong, didn't you, Josh? I know you did.
Because I have a mass eject button.
Hey, Josh. Please don't turn it off.
Your buttons don't work with me. Rob, mute.
It's Adam.
Is it?
I got him. I muted him.
I'm back. Am I back?
You're back.
Anyway.
But you need headphones.
Man, I'm gonna get a
right. I'm off to get some. I'll see you guys.
All right.
We're getting good at this, aren't
we? Yeah. Anyway, I'll finish my story.
Oh,
I remember being fishing out in there with the old man, and I asked him how far to the horizon, and he said, 2 or 3 miles.
Right.
And I remember looking out and saying, that looks further than that. But, you don't think of anything like that. But for some reason, I remember that little conversation we had. We can see a lot further than 2 or 3 miles.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. But we're just told otherwise. So we actually fool ourselves and make ourselves stupid by tricking ourselves into thinking that what we see is, no. Oh, yeah, it's my brain. I'm an idiot. It's no way that's 30 kilometers. I can see it. Yeah. It's only 2. Of course.
I remember
what an idiot.
Camping in France, in the north coast of France as a kid, and just being able to see the white cliffs of Dover across the sea, and it was just like, wow, bizarre.
Oh, I had a guy on
23
YouTube. I commented on a YouTube video yesterday, and he mentioned about the white cliffs of Dover and how you should be seeing them from so far away, but you can't see a certain thing that's a little bit further down there. And that's proof of a curve.
Well, you can see them from 23 miles
yeah,
away.
And that's what he was saying. That's what he's saying. You can see it, but you can't see. There's something that's just past that.
What?
Yeah, I don't know, John. It was
something just past the white cliffs of Dover.
Yeah, I'll have to go to the comment and have a look what he said. It was pathetic anyway.
Sounds like cognitive dissonance to me.
Sounds like a drinking song to me.
I want to play that Eric Johnson tune so bad right now.
I used to be able to play it on Guitar Hero.
This guy.
What an accomplishment.
Hey.
It's air quote play.
Yeah. Button mash. No, but I like that story because it's a simple proof, and everybody, if you stop and think at one time, wondered or was amazed by how beautiful and far you could see over a lake of glass, or out on a beach, or even out in a desert. Like, just the wonder of being able to see so far. I can see for miles and miles. This is true.
In order to stop the singing, so Justin, did you get? Did you? So you paid $50 to go to Kennedy Space Station, where the famous shuttle launched from. You get to see a couple of blow up fuel pods or whatever, but you're telling me you didn't get to see an actual shuttle and get to climb around inside the cockpit and feck about in the cargo bay or anything,
or a module.
They do have a little capsule module things that are out in the rocket garden that you can climb into. I actually just sent one to the chat. They feel very small. We sat inside one of them, and it seems pretty impossible that somebody was in that tiny little
Could
thing
you sit in
through.
there for that long? For just 3 sweaty guys without a toilet for 19 days
and I
or
forgot
whatever
to mention,
do you think?
I forgot to mention, too, was one of the great plaques over it next to it was it was just another thing. It was just so basic and nothingness. The plaque really said, it didn't tell you anything about the craft or any facts or anything technical. It just said that, I got in on one side, my other astronaut friend, whatever his name is, got in on the right seat, and then the third guy got in the middle seat. And that's really what it says on the plaque. It says that they got inside of it and what seat they sat in. I was making fun of it in front of some people to see if they would pick up on just how goofy some of it was. But I don't think 3 guys were in that little thing flying through seas of radiation.
It's actually making me really angry, Justin, because I was really hoping, if everything goes well, to get down to Florida this November. And a bunch of us are thinking about it. And now I'm just so annoyed that it's just like a stupid exhibit at Universal Studios type thing. Go
camping in the woods instead.
It makes me angry. I just want to bring a camera and talk to all the people at the front of the line and do a little conference there or something in a proper way where police or people can't come and be like, you're disturbing the peace and you're talking schnikes. Just be friendly with the camera. How you doing, sir? Hey, so why do you know the earth is round? Or, hey, how's it going, sir? So what do you love most about living on a spinning ball?
Exactly. That's what I got from it too, was it did come off as that exhibit, and we could probably get more out of it by talking to the people, like you said, out front.
Hey, John, I found the comment here. Now, I commented on a video about the little oil rigs that were 10 mile off the coast, just posted recently. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've commented on you've seen the video to this guy. How can you explain that? And he says, I am originally from Kent in southeast England, and I regularly went between Dover and Calais on a ferry. Does that sound right?
Yep.
21 miles. On the return trip, you could see the famous White Cliffs of White Cliffs. So that's the same place as what we're talking about, isn't it? Dover.
Yep.
Yep. You can't, however, see the port or the other ships in the port until much later in the journey.
Yeah, of course. Well, we know why now. We know why, because of this phenomenon of the mirror band. This band across the horizon
and some actual obstacle, some ground obstacles too, like waves or whatever interference there. It all adds up.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, a 10-foot. I mean, we're talking about the English Channel here now. You know, you're talking some pretty frisky weather a lot of the time, and it's a funnel. So, you know, a 10-foot wave or 10-foot swell isn't unremarkable, I don't think.
Actually, speaking on water, I've something really nice big to announce, that this summer, my partner and I, my old lady, we are going to be doing the Bedford, because I just found out that the lake in the town where I live is 6.1 miles long, and 5 miles wide.
Excellent.
So,
that's really good.
Yeah, and it's going to be fantastic. So we will see.
A lot of people doing a lot of experiments at the moment. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, I took a breath when James said me and my wife are going to do the Bedford. I was a little more intrigued initially.
Oh!
But sorry. No, you know what you've got me doing, John. I'm wired up right now, just trying to produce varying levels of silver solutions.
Oh right, yeah.
How's it going? Yeah, not bad. If you hear a buzzing in the background, it's because I've got a little motor running on top of it just to try and.
There's the picture you were talking about with the flags.
Yeah, I showed the guys.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got your headphones? Yeah.
Oh,
Adam.
No, sorry.
All right, I'll go.
I'm gone.
So what are we looking at there?
Oh, turn it off.
Sorry, we're both hitting the mute button on him. I think me and him both. I mute him. He hits it. Unmutes him.
Right, I'm back. Sorry, you see, I went and got the headphones, and then you were quite interesting to listen to, so I forgot about putting them on.
Sorry about that.
It's your own fault.
Sorry.
What a lot we are.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
Experiments.
Also
it's
the
quite a few
picture
experiments
of the ISS there at the top of the triangle, the junk painting with the flags. Is that like a participatory painting that they get for keeping the big hoo-ha secret?
What I find astonishing about the ISS is how long it took to build, and the fact that we have zero video footage of it being built. I mean, that's like, you know, the skyscraper or whatever being built and no one taking a photo.
That it was built after 1980 and we don't have footage is ridiculous.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's absolutely mind. We have pictures of celebrities taking dumps and getting bombed on booze.
Live streamed, it should have been scheduled weekly, so you get an update. Everything.
It would be the ultimate display of power, the ultimate American flex too, to have this live construction being seen
in your face,
crush all the other countries in there. It's just
and nothing,
nada. And then, did you hear the Kennedy speech the other day? That one of the guys we like, the actual full speech. I mean, he's talking like the U.S. needs to flex, and they're going to flex and everything. This is going to be such a big thing, and it just really has turned into more of like an artsy, once in a while, like Olympic every 4 years. We got to come out with a space thing.
It's like Justin said. It was a dick comparing competition. Unlike the Soviets, we're doing this. We have an open and free press, and they don't report their failures. And all this sort of crap. Yeah.
Which is when you think of it, how funny that is, that we have a free press and they're saying that they have a free press and they don't. Isn't that hilarious?
to
hear
yeah,
the government say that their press is free and that they Russia's the one. Oh, absolutely. Oh, that guy looks like a rapist in the middle. Hate to say that. I know that sounds mean, but who the hell is that? What a shady character that guy looks like. Whew.
I don't think you can say that. Is he
Photo
still
or
alive?
painting?
It's a bad rendition of him in the painting, is what James was meaning.
He looks like that mean guy that punched the guy in the face or chased him around with the camera. That real funny guy in the parking lot.
It's not a flattering painting, is it?
And I think he had
For any of
those
them,
old
Not for any of them.
pervert glasses too on the video. He had those tinted perv shades.
To be fair to the artist, though, it probably is hard to distinguish between rapist and liar and traitor to humanity. So it's hard, sort of things to paint, I would assume.
I love the HD moon shot they got there in the back.
It looks like something off. Yeah, what's that kids program? Button Moon or whatever.
And if you remember the spacesuit that you were looking at a few minutes ago, that was supposedly Gus Grissom's spacesuit from way back when.
You say it's got his name on it.
And he fried, didn't he?
Or VI Grissom.
Great suit. He must have.
It's got a zip on it.
It's got a lot of zippers on it.
It's nice. It's a tight zip, that, isn't it?
Wonder if the
American zippers.
helmet swivels.
Yeah, I was going to ask exactly the same thing. I wonder if that helmet swivels left and right.
Yeah.
But that was the Russian cosmonaut, wasn't it?
No, but still, I'm sure it's hilarious.
No.
It's probably one suit. They share it for everyone. Anyways.
This is an early version, you can tell, because it hasn't got the snorkel.
It swivels just enough to break the seal.
2 for scuba.
So you either drowned or, suffocate in the vacuum space.
But yeah, so do we agree the boot footprint is probably a hoax, or is probably a bit of a red herring?
Yeah, I think so.
Explainable.
Now that I'm back.
Hello.
These soles don't look like the same boots either. So they must have had several different boots.
Yeah, this looks like complete junk. Yeah, it doesn't look like the model either from Apollo. You're right, Josh. Good eye.
They probably used the boots to block the radiation, all the extra boots to block the radiation from the Van Allen belts.
Right.
Sounds like a haberdashery. We got boots and belts. You need a wallet.
And doctors made those space doctors made those boots, and that's why we got Doc Martens, right? Because they were shielding from the radiation. It's all NASA, baby.
Well,
right? How can you guys be dissing NASA? If it wasn't for NASA, we wouldn't have all the cool stuff we have.
Right, like
Velcro.
I've got one.
Something.
Models.
Yeah, I built
Space
seven.
models.
What would you say,
ice
sir?
cream.
Right.
And it's vile, but
it is horrendous.
I think they are attributed to it. But,
I bought some last year just to see if it was as bad as I remember from my childhood. It's even worse, I think.
I hope you guys. I've got to point something out here. I just realized it didn't even catch me when I was at the Space Center. But what the children? I'm looking at the map right now that they gave me, and the Children's Play Center is called the Children's Play Dome, and it's a dome that they play under.
Wow.
Yeah, I totally missed that.
Can you put it on the screen? Show it on your screen for us?
Yeah, let me take a quick picture for you.
Okay.
How apt.
Yeah, also I remember too the bus tour, they stress that the bus tour takes you to restricted access areas. It makes you feel like you're going, to like inside the White House or something.
Restricted access, is that where they keep the jet fuel?
That's where everybody go. That's what restricted.
Yeah. That's where they take you on the bus tour to show you the vehicle assembly building and the launch pads from like a mile away. It's real restricted.
It's restricted for people who don't pay.
Right.
Right.
Or for those who ask too many questions.
So have we got any watchers at the moment?
We've got 3 now. I know one of them is not me this time.
I'd like to send a shout out to Dee Dee. I'm sure she is listening always. They do. We thank you for your support. JJ.
Yes.
Gentlemen, I say we jump
Keep
rooms.
watching the skies.
I hate to say it, but I think we should jump rooms. We've already been going for an hour, and I think if we end this broadcast right here and start hour 2, and
I think we should.
Okay.
Nice little segments for viewers to easily digest.
Yeah, we don't want to overwhelm you with an 8-hour broadcast. That can be
Okay.
Well, I sent you a video in the, well, maybe it didn't get there yet. It's still uploading. So we'll do that on the intro.
We have a couple other guys going to be joining us for the second half too. Rob, you can invite them, and they wanted to talk some math and a couple other things, I think. So probably start that for hour 2. All right.
And we can double check on Robbie. All right. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you back on in a few minutes. Thank you all. Come back over and see us on the next little chat.
Stay on the plane.
You've been listening to Iron Realm Media.